We now have a shocking leak inside of a room that Lindsey Graham was in, being a total lunatic. And it kind of feels like Trump and his allies are on a mission to make sure that no one in the world likes us anymore. We spent decades building up goodwill with our allies, and it actually comes in handy. When the U.S. calls, yeah, it's a lot because of our power, but we also have a lot of goodwill. People listen. We can get stuff we want. And we can make the deals we want. And we can tell you, no, don't get too intertwined with that country. And hey. We can do a lot of hey. And it feels like the Trump administration is trying to destroy all that goodwill in one term. And you see that in bigger ways. Trump alienating our allies through all of his trade policy and through his cozying up to adversaries at the expense of allies, and the way that he degrades people who align a lot more with our values, but praises people who don't. But then there's smaller ways, like whenever you send Lindsey Graham into a meeting with the Prime Minister of Denmark, and I'm pretty sure the Greenland Prime Minister, to chat Greenland, or Iceland as Trump called it, and then you have Lindsey, who supposedly is represented in the United States, just being a complete and total dick. No one likes us anymore, guys. So before I tell you about that story, here was Lindsey already publicly upsetting a lot of our allies on the subject of Greenland.
Is to get outcomes.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit who owns Greenland? I don't. So the point is, Greenland is going to be more fortified,
right,
because Donald Trump.
Can I answer the question? Who gives a shit who owns Greenland? Denmark is my first guess. Maybe whoever owns it right now, maybe they care. Oh, maybe the people of Greenland care. Yeah, I think so. And don't you tell me about fortification. Don't you tell me about fortification. You know nothing about fortification. I know everything about fortification. We can fortify the hell out of Greenland. They're fine with that. We already do. We already have military presence there. They're our ally. That's the point. So you treating them with disdain and who gives a shit, and then Trump saying it's ours, maybe we'll use our military to take it, is so destructive to the trust that we have cultivated. Then you have this story. Trump allies, talking about Lindsey Graham, disturbing insult to female leader revealed. Lots of F-bombs is the subheading. Just the quickest pause to request that you click the subscribe button, the simplest, easiest, freest way, completely free, to support the work that we do. Right below the video, click that subscribe button. Back to the video. Lindsey Graham reportedly tried but failed to get a rise out of the Danish prime minister. Yeah, so as you're going to see through this, I hate to use this phrase, but the Danish prime minister mogged Lindsey Graham. That's a Danish term. You might not know about it, but it's a little Danish term I picked up when I went there, a mog. And she did it to Lindsey, because what did he want? He wanted a fight, as you're gonna see, and she just went, when you're done we can continue. Oh, so good. Lindsey Graham has been accused of derailing a diplomatic meeting in Munich with an what was the way that someone recently pronounced it? Expletive-laden rant and sexist insult leveled at Denmark's prime minister. The close ally of President Donald Trump himself, no stranger to vicious verbal attacks against women, is said to have called Mette Frederiksen little lady as he looked her straight in the eye and sneered during the exchange at a Munich hotel on Saturday, according to a Danish newspaper. Little lady. I wish, and I say this as someone who never promotes political violence, I wish she had kicked him in the crotch. Because I feel like you would have had to have, this was in Munich, I feel like you could have gotten away with it too. Because everyone in that room kind of wants to see Lindsey Graham get kicked in the crotch. And especially if it's after you call a prime minister little lady, you deserve it at that point. Graham had been meeting with Frederiksen to discuss Trump's threats earlier this year to annex Greenland. Also in attendance at the meeting, held on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference, were several members of the House and Senate, along with Greenlandic Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen. Puck first broke news of Graham's foul-mouthed meltdown Monday. Sources with knowledge of the conversation said he was combative and that he threw around lots of F-bombs, with one person adding, "Picture Graham on his worst day on TV. He was like this."
I want sanctuary city policy to end.
You can picture Lindsey Graham coming out to the meeting with a glass of something. He's in Munich. He's all sweaty. And you see like two dudes, big muscular German dudes, walking out of his hotel room. He's like, "All right, I'm ready for the meeting. Come here, little lady." Who gives a shit about Greenland? Okay. I was in the middle of the best orgasm of my life, and you pull me down here to talk about Greenland. Who gives a shit, little lady? My mama told me I was going to be great, and I became a senator, and she's still ashamed that I share her name. You ever thought of that, little lady? It's like, button your shirt, Lindsey. I'm sorry, everyone. The mic covered most of my shirt being unbuttoned. I know. You're like, no. Others described it as shocking, disturbing, and extremely inappropriate. One attendee told the newspaper Grant had also targeted Greenland's leader, Nielsen. So he's taken on two different women, having yawned directly in his face in a way that could only be perceived as mocking. Oh, wait, Nielsen's a guy. Never mind. Jins is a guy. I was picturing like Jin. Jins is okay. So then he yawned in the Prime Minister of Greenland's face. Prior to the outburst, Graham had reportedly boasted about Trump having enormous power as the American president. I hate when defenders of Trump and fans of him, and Graham does this a lot, go like, "Trump is the president of the United States of America. He's so powerful, and he has the nuclear codes." It's like, yeah, yep, that's the president. You don't have to go. I think it actually diminishes the power of the presidency or the perceived awe when you have to keep explaining it. People know we're the United States of freaking America. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The presidency, pretty cool. He's pretty powerful. Having to repeat it makes you seem very, very insecure. Frederiksen is understood to have calmly waited until Graham had finished. So he's swearing, he's saying "little lady," his shirt is slowly falling off of him, and he's grumpy and he's drunk. I'm adding some extra descriptors that weren't in this reporting. And when he finished his outburst, Frederiksen said, "When you're done with that, the meeting can continue." That's good. That's how you deal with someone like that, because he feels like he failed to get a rise out of her. And I admire that for sure. That's how you deal with someone who's losing their mind unjustly. And it just makes me sad because I think we're getting a really bad name. Like Trump, they're probably like, "Oh, yay, we don't have to meet with Trump today about Greenland." He probably would be really disrespectful and alienating of our stance on this. And they send in Lindsey Graham, and then he's acting this way. America is at its best something so epic, and I'm so proud to be American, but it breaks my heart that the leaders going around the world at these international conferences representing who we are doing so in big ways, and then here in smaller ways in just sort of a trashy, low character fashion. And if anyone's a little lady, it's Lindsey Graham. That needs to be said. Before
moving, get his balls back.
Well, Frederiksen kicked them off, and that's where they went in my fantasy.